I wandered, lonely as a cloud that floats on high o'er vales and hills, when all at once I saw a crowd, a host of golden daffodils. The great romantic poet William Wordsworth was inspired by this spectacular landscape when he penned his celebrated Daffodils poem. So where am I? Find out in just a moment. On today's show, I'll be helping a couple of rambling enthusiasts set up home together for the very first time. We've got plenty of great properties for them to fall for.
Oh, wow, yes, that's brilliant, isn't it, Kevin?
But will the mystery house make them want to take a step into the unknown?
Yeah.
Kevin, it's glorious.
I'm almost speechless for once.
Today, I'm in Cumbria, and this is Ullswater, one of the largest lakes in the county's spectacular Lake District. And it was along the shores of this lake in 1802 that Wordsworth stumbled upon his famous daffodils. He once described Ullswater as the happiest combination of beauty and grandeur that any of the lakes affords. And looking around today, it's very hard to argue otherwise. Cumbria is the third largest county in England and one of the most beautiful and diverse. Flanked by the Scottish border to the north, Lancashire and North Yorkshire to the south, and County Durham and Northumberland to the east, it's largely a rural region which is sparsely populated. Less than 10% of Cumbria's residents live in the Lake District National Park, which covers around a third of the entire county. But the dramatic landscape that inspired the likes of Beatrix Potter and Arthur Ransome attracts tourists and walkers by the busload. The region contains some of the country's finest footpaths and is perfect for rambling, water skiing, or just sitting back and letting it all wash over you. 15 million visitors a year can't be wrong. As we all know, the property market has dipped over the past couple of years, and Cumbria is no exception. However, it has fared better than other counties due in no small part to its national park. Here, within the park boundaries, the planning stipulations are very tight, which means pretty much no new properties being built. That in turn starts a lack of supply, which then builds demand, which now means that the property prices have held up. The average value of a detached house here is just under £250,000, only £8,000 below the national figure. So with that in mind, take a look at some properties that we've found currently on the market. Just shy of £250,000, this attractive three-bedroom detached converted barn is a short drive from the Lakeland Fells in Howgate and is full of character. It has a smart and modern lounge, 2 en-suites and a charming patio garden. £475,000 could buy you this 4-bedroom detached family home overlooking the River Eden in Rockcliffe. Along with 3 comfortable reception rooms and an eat-in kitchen, it retains its attractive sandstone facade. Or if your pocket can stretch to it, this 4-bedroom former schoolhouse in the market town of Cockermouth has an elegant finish, featuring a magnificent hallway, 3 large reception rooms, and a light and airy interior. It could be yours for £635,000. With such a great selection of properties on the market here, things look promising for today's buyers. The question is, what type of house will suit their needs? Let's meet them and find out. Meet Kevin, an ex-company director, and Carol, a social worker. They have a shared love of the Lake District, having met there on a rambling holiday. Kevin is now planning to sell his house in Leamington Spa and move up to Cumbria, where Carol already lives, so they can buy their very first home together.
I've beaten Kevin because I'm already up in the Lake District. So I moved about a year ago.
So competitive.
Yeah. So competitive. But it'd be a lovely opportunity now for us both to live together.
We've been obviously seeing each other weekends and things over the last 6 months or so, but and I've been zooming up and down the motorway up to the lakes, but we've decided, we've known each other for a while and decided to go for it now, haven't we?
They have fixed ideas on location.
The area we're looking to move to is the Penrith area of the Lake District, which is just outside the National Park.
And with Carol's insider knowledge of the area, they're already clued up about what's on offer.
It's got very good access into the Lake District and the Yorkshire Dales, and also it's got a main line railway station, so it's good access to the south as well.
Carol's already making the most of Cumbria, and she's hoping Kevin will do the same.
Currently I volunteer in the Lake District National Park as a walk leader, and I've been doing this for a couple of years now, and I really, really enjoy that. And in fact, that's where I met Kevin, and I'm going to hopefully rope him in the near future to become a volunteer himself.
And Kevin wants her to share his favourite pastime too.
Obviously, one of the main motivations for our move is our love of the fells, and I've been working my way through the Wainwrights over the last couple of years or so with some friends. Now done about 175 of them out of 214.
As for their new home, they've got very clear ideas about what they want.
We'd like similar sort of space to what I've got here at the moment,
Yes.
which is around about 3,000 square foot. Like 4 or 5 bedrooms. I think we're going to get lots of visitors, aren't we?
We are friends and family, definitely.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's,
A lovely view from the lounge and a log burner.
yep, definitely. Nice big kitchen.
These two are certainly practical, but they're also mindful of some of the finer details.
So we'd like a combination of new and old, a bit of character really. It's ideally eco-friendly as well, really. So ideally we'd like some sort of solar panel heating, air source heat pump heating system, that sort of thing, which is going to be very efficient in the future. And probably just a small garden. We don't want a huge amount of land, do we really?
No, we don't.
Because the fells are going to be our garden, aren't they, really?
Yes.
So with the dream of the fells as their playground, Kevin and Carol are more than ready to embark on the next stage of their life together. There's only one thing to nail down, and that's how much they're willing to spend on their new home.
Our maximum budget for this move is £600,000.
So our keen walkers have £600,000 to spend on a home that mixes old with new. Now this quite healthy budget should easily stretch to maybe a 4 to 5 bedroom house, especially as they're looking outside of the national park boundary. My only concern is this size of home normally comes with a pretty big garden, and oddly enough, that's just what they don't want. Let's hear how we get on. Kevin and Carol have set their hearts on a new home together in Cumbria. As Carol currently lives in the area, they've already got great insider knowledge, and they've decided they want to be as close as possible to the lakes. So we'll be focusing our search around Penrith. We've uncovered 3 fantastic properties for our buyers to look at, but I won't be telling them the price until they've had a guess first. And I'm hoping our mystery house won't have our ramblers walking in the opposite direction. At the moment, pretty good start to the day, isn't it?
Definitely.
Well, I'll make no secret of this. This is my favourite part of the UK. So first of all, thank you for looking for a house here.
Not a problem.
Yeah, anytime.
Now, this must be very exciting for a couple of reasons. But first of all, you're buying your first house together.
We are indeed, absolutely.
So we're going to find out a lot about each other.
It's just how compatible we are, really. Whether we have the same tastes, see?
Now, you've both chosen your target area just to the north of the Lake District proper, if you like, just outside the National Park boundary.
Yeah.
Why is that?
Well, we're conscious that we're going to get far more for our money, hopefully, outside of the National Park, because it is obviously a lot more expensive within.
Yeah, and also accessibility. Has a good motorway and train links.
Yes, it
North
does.
and south
Take
as
her back
well.
home.
Yeah, definitely.
Now, the budget,
Yeah.
maximum is...
Probably 600,000. We wanted to see really what we can get for the sort of price I'm going to be getting for my house, really, back in Leamington.
Sure, OK. Now, if this house doesn't have all these features for £600,000, if I find you something maybe a little bit less expensive,
Yeah.
are you prepared to do any work to it yourself?
Not a lot, no.
Right. More to the point. OK. What's interesting, really, really interesting about today is the fact that obviously the first house, I learn a lot about what you really, really want.
Yeah.
But I think you're going to learn a lot about each other and what they
that's
really,
right.
really want.
Indeed.
OK, so let's all start learning together with the first house, shall
Excellent.
we?
Great stuff.
This way.
Very good.
Okay, then.
With a budget of £600,000, Kevin and Carol want an eco-friendly home with a minimum of 4 bedrooms and a mix of old and new. They want to be close to a village but not too remote, and they don't need much outside space as they're hoping the fells will provide their garden for them.
Now, another thing, Kevin, you've mentioned is you want a house to look unique.
Yeah, character.
Character.
Yeah. I think I'm a little bit spoilt because the house I have in Leamington at the moment, I've been there 25 years and it still gives me that wow factor every time I go back.
Does it really?
Yeah.
So that's the benchmark.
Yeah, definitely.
Sounds like we've certainly got a lot to live up to. We're starting our property search in Blencarn, which is a short drive from the village of Colgaith, located in the beautiful Eden Valley. Colgaith, meaning corner wood, is a modest village and has been around since medieval times and owes its current existence to the Settle Carlisle Railway, which dates back to the 1870s. It's got a 17th century pub, a fishing lake and a local community hall. A short drive away is the village of Blencarn, which lies in the shadow of Cross Fell, the highest point in the Pennines. And our first house is a converted barn situated on a new development.
This is the property we're going to have a look around.
Okay.
What are your first impressions?
Looks interesting.
It looks like quite oldie-worldy.
This was originally a barn for a huge farm complex.
Okay.
Now, this was built back in, 1763, but it was all converted, pretty much razed to the ground and rebuilt in 2006.
Right, okay.
Do you like that? Do you like the old?
Yeah,
I do,
Yeah,
yes,
definitely.
yes.
Yeah.
If you like the style, hopefully you'll see there's very little to do.
Brilliant. Sounds good to
Just
me.
come with me and I'll show you.
Excellent.
With little work needed, I've got high hopes for this house. It's the perfect mix of old and new, just what our buyers are looking for.
Now, I think you, Carol, for one, said you liked the idea of maybe something open plan.
Yes.
And the kitchen was the heart of the home, I think your words were.
Yes, that does look very nice.
Does it?
Yes, it does.
Good.
Good size,
does.
isn't it? It's a good size room.
And also, the blinds, you can lift those up and have quite a lot of light there. I like the beam as well.
Well,
I must admit,
this is
that's
the old and new, isn't it?
Yes. I think it's lovely.
Yeah, it's a nice size. Yeah,
OK.
Definitely.
Let's keep looking around and hopefully it remains spacious and light for you.
Okay.
Well, that's a positive response, so let's hope I'm on track with the rest of the house.
Now, this is the first of a couple of reception rooms.
Okay.
I just want to point out these wonderful beams here.
Wow.
That's good, isn't it?
Yes,
It's nice.
it is, isn't it? And I like the brickwork as well in here.
It is. Nice feel.
And again, you've got lovely windows, very big windows there too.
But this is always going to be a through room. So have a think about what you're going to use this for,
Okay.
because this is obviously more of a formal or full-time living room.
Ah, right, okay, yes, yeah.
Good size, isn't it?
It is good
It
size.
is.
Yeah, yeah. And you've got your wood-burning stove, which you wanted, didn't you? So-
That's right.
Definitely.
I like the beam above it as well.
Now, at the end, you'll notice these doors are all pushed back at the moment.
Okay.
You could, if you wanted to, just put those doors across, and that could be a part-time bedroom.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that's ideal.
definitely.
Yes, good idea.
Yeah.
Now, bedrooms, you want a
Bedrooms
few.
as well.
Yeah, you got somewhere to sleep.
excellent.
Let's go and look at the master bedroom, shall we?
Okay.
Okay.
Excellent.
The downstairs has the benefit of a utility room and a ground floor shower room should they decide they do want to turn the study into a part-time bedroom. And upstairs, I think the master's a really good size.
Is this the room that you'd want to come and lay your head at night?
Oh, it's very light. It's very big as well.
It's good size, isn't it?
It
Good size
is.
room.
I
Yeah.
like the skylight as
Yeah,
well.
that's right. It's going to be a bit of light, isn't it? So-
Yeah.
Just peek your head, just round the corner there, you've got an ensuite.
Okay.
All right.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
But I know you've got a lot of stuff. You've got a 5-bedroom house.
Yeah.
You've got your own apartment as well.
Yes.
Is this house a potential home for you? Potential first home for you, both of you?
Yeah. This wing, both downstairs and upstairs, feels very homely, doesn't it, actually?
does.
This house offers a further 3 bedrooms, all of which are a good size and 2 of which share an ensuite shower room. Plus, there's a further family bathroom. Outside, it has the benefit of a large garage which could be turned into a workshop or a games room. Now, they don't want a massive garden, and I think the size of this one should suit them.
Now then, I think, Carol, you in particular said you wanted a fairly modest-sized garden, but a garden nonetheless.
Definitely.
Yep.
Yes.
No, it's good size, actually, isn't it?
Yeah,
Definitely.
is.
Yeah. No, that's just about right, isn't it?
Because there's an area for a barbecue.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stonework here, which is lovely. And I like the climbing plants. And it's quite...
Room for your raspberry canes.
Yes, there's plenty of room, yeah.
How much do you think this house is on the market for at the moment?
OK.
Maybe 550,000.
550,000. Kevin?
OK. 520.
Brutal.
It's... Oh,
This place is on the market for £570,000.
Right, OK. Oh. Right.
I would suggest that at the moment, if this house was in the national park,
yeah.
it would be well over budget.
Yes, it would.
We wouldn't be looking around it.
No, that's true.
No.
Why don't you go back inside the house?
OK.
Have a look at some of the other bedrooms.
Yep.
And I'll meet you at the front in, what, 10 minutes or so?
OK, that's great.
All right.
Great.
Thanks, Johnny.
Yeah,
Catch you in a minute.
Thank
Thanks.
you.
So, £570,000 provides our buyers with 4 good-sized double bedrooms, 3 large reception rooms, and a tasteful mix of old and new. The garden is the right size too, but will this property be their dream home?
Well, I actually like the house. It's actually warmed on me. It's probably, if I'm honest, it's the location rather than the house itself, which is putting me off a little bit.
I like the old beams and the originality of the property, as well as the wood-burning stove. I love that. And the kitchen is fantastic.
All done?
Oh,
Absolutely.
1 down, 2 to go.
Great stuff.
Let's get on.
Excellent.
Okay.
Kevin and Carol's move to the country is strongly motivated by their love of walking along the fells. Carol volunteers as a walk leader in the Lake District National Park, and Kevin has been working his way through the famous walks of Wainwright, so they're always up for exploring new territory. Given their passion, earlier in the week we arranged for them to go on an altogether different kind of hike, accompanied by local shepherdess Alison O'Neill.
Hi, Alison.
Hello. Good morning. Welcome to Shackerbank Farm.
Thank you very
Lovely
much.
to meet you.
Good to see you.
So this is your escape to the country?
Yes, this is. This is my shepherd's hut, or we could say shepherdess's hut. And this is the hut that I sleep in during the whole of the 5 or 6 weeks of lambing.
6 years ago, Alison started taking walking tours in Cumbria. Having always enjoyed being barefoot as a child, she would take her boots off on the walks that she led because she liked the sensation. And she soon found that other walkers followed suit and took their boots off too.
You've got thousands of nerve endings in your feet, and it's incredibly therapeutic. You will actually feel so much closer to the land that you're walking on once your boots are taken off.
Fantastic. We can't wait, can we?
That's right, yeah, definitely.
So if you'd like to follow me,
Right.
we can sit down and take those boots off.
OK.
Okay.
Not so sure about that.
A German priest called Sebastian Neep was the first to extol the virtues of barefoot walking in the 19th century. He believed that putting feet in contact with different grasses and roots through water or on wet land would stimulate the organs and help the body heal itself.
I lead walks in the national park. How do you cover safety, Alison? Barefoot walking?
Yes, it's that term risk assessment. And every walk I do is risk assessed. First of all, we assess where we're walking, what kind of terrain. So we don't really want to walk on rock or hard ground. It's about softer surfaces, paddling through becks. So it is risk assessed and it is very safe to do.
Yes.
People have walked barefoot for centuries. I mean, people still walk barefoot in many parts of the world through necessity. But I still think it's a very natural way of feeling the earth, and the health benefits are enormous.
Let's hope that all that rambling has reinvigorated Kevin and Carol's minds and that our next property is a step in the right direction to finding their new home. We continue our search towards Greystoke, a village on the edge of the Lake District National Park, about 4 miles west of Penrith. At the heart of Greystoke is a village green, which still retains an ancient market cross dating back to the early 1600s. The village has a pub and a post office and excellent access to cycle routes around the nearby fells. Tucked away in a rural location, a short drive from the village is our next property, situated at the end of a quiet country lane.
Now, for property number 2, you are literally on the edge of the national park boundary.
Oh, OK.
But because we're maybe a little bit more remote, you get a lot of property.
Yeah. Wow.
The original parts of this property date back, what, some 200 years?
Right.
A bit of a farmhouse, really. Right. So what you get here is, again, hopefully, this fusion of old and new. You get some really nice period features, but you do get this open space and good-sized rooms.
Yeah. Brilliant.
We're going to have to rush around this house because it's big.
OK.
OK?
Sounds good.
Follow me.
Excellent.
Yeah.
This house is a large and sprawling home, and I hope the size won't be too daunting for them, because it has some great original features I think they could fall in love with.
OK. What do you make of this room, then?
Wow, I like the stunning wood-burning stove there.
First thing you see, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
Come in. It's great.
There's lots of little touches and the bits of the original character, I think, coming through.
Yeah.
But it's also, I noticed the first time I've heard wow, which is encouraging.
Yes.
Now, I think this is pretty clever, what they've done here. Obviously, there was 2 rooms. They've opened it up, but they've still kept some separation.
Yes.
Is it a breakfast bar? Is it a dining table? What do you want it to be?
Yeah.
Could be a bit of both, couldn't
Yeah.
it?
Yeah, so nice, makes it a nice big open room, doesn't it?
It does
what they've done,
indeed,
really.
yeah.
They brought the one into the other, haven't they?
Yes.
So, you see.
Well, I think whatever you decide to use this for will be influenced
OK.
once you've seen the next room.
OK.
Now, this room is deceptively large.
Gosh, it is.
That's a good size, isn't it?
Well, that's a 12-seater table.
We got that many friends.
Yes, definitely.
Be good for making some, wouldn't it? Good room, though, isn't it?
It is.
Wow,
And
look
that's
at
lovely,
this
isn't it?
here.
That feature there. So,
Yeah.
And these are probably 200 years old, these mullioned windows.
Right. Wow.
But used to good effect, because through this
Yeah.
window, and there's a lovely doorway here,
Gosh, there
it's
is.
a really nice living room, more snug. Wow. Now, open fires after a hard day's walking.
Yeah.
Come and relax in here.
Right.
Oh, wow, yes,
Fantastic.
that's brilliant, isn't
Yeah.
it, Kevin?
It is. It's lovely.
Yeah. And again, you've got a lot of light coming through.
Deceptively so, haven't
Yeah.
you? Really? So, yeah, that's right.
And this isn't the only lounge on the ground floor. Past the utility room, there's another living room which is also packed full of character.
The current owners, I believe, did a lot of the work here.
Did they?
And it speaks volumes to the quality of the workmanship you can see as soon as you walk in, can't you?
You can.
You
Yeah.
can.
Yeah.
You've got a lot of character features in here as well, haven't you? Around the windows with the stonework, maybe, as well.
Well,
Yeah.
to try and get you on side even more,
Okay.
I want us to pop a head around this doorway here. Follow me.
OK.
I know you've mentioned games room, Kevin.
Now we're talking here. Yeah.
Kevin.
That's a decent size, isn't it?
That's ideal,
You could
isn't
manage in
it?
here, couldn't you, really? It's,
Oh, yeah.
perfect. Yep. Best room so far.
There's an extra guest bedroom and wet room on the ground floor, but now I'm going to show them upstairs. I wonder what they'll make of the room that could be theirs.
This is your master, I think.
OK.
Right. It's a good size room, isn't it? So,
It is, yeah.
Big enough?
think so, definitely.
I dearly hope so. So, what do you think of what you're seeing?
It's almost a bit too big, even. And I know that you're going to find it hard to believe that I'm saying that.
Well,
really.
hard to take. I get what you mean, because it sprawls around on the ground floor.
it does, yeah.
Upstairs, I think the house becomes a little smaller, a little bit more manageable.
Yeah, yeah.
It's certainly more manageable, but this house still has a further 4 bedrooms upstairs, including 2 singles and 2 doubles, one of which features a nice touch of exposed stone. There's also 2 more bathrooms up here as well. But if Kevin thinks the house might be a bit too big, what will they both think of the garden?
Now, slightly bigger garden than the first house.
That's enormous.
It's
a park.
massive. Yeah.
You're sat in about an acre plot size.
Right, okay.
If you want a 4 or 5 bedroom house,
Yeah.
it's going to sit on a decent sized plot of land.
Yeah.
This is your inherent challenge.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
mine too.
Okay.
How much do you think this lovely farmhouse is on the market for?
I think this is going to be towards the top end of our budget, so I would say 595.
595 from Kevin.
Oh.
Carol?
590,000, I think.
Well, this house is on the market for £600,000.
Yes! 1-all.
Which I'm pleased the game is still going, but we do have a house to buy.
I'm sorry.
Oh, wow.
When you go back inside the house, have a look around all the rooms.
Okay.
Might take you some time.
Yeah, indeed.
And I'll catch you, well, whenever you finish at the front.
Okay. Thanks, Johnny.
Thank you.
Cheers.
They did say they thought it was at the top of their budget. I am concerned they think there might be a little bit too much property here. Just kind of careful what you wish for. Again, the land issue, I'm going to have to ignore that. If they want a big house, they're going to get a big garden. This seems to be what they asked me for, but I certainly get the feeling that Kevin's holding something back. I just wish I knew what it was.
Priced at £600,000, this spacious extended period cottage on the edge of the Lake District National Park has a whopping 6 bedrooms, 4 reception rooms, a host of original features and about an acre of land. It is stunning, but is it too much for our buyers?
Well, certainly location-wise, this house is a little bit more, I think, what we were hoping for, and obviously right on the very edge of the Lake District National Park, which is perfect.
The house for me is very spectacular with the old stonework and the beams. Downstairs is lovely when I first walked in, but I don't feel as though it's home to me. That I don't feel that I could be at home here.
Now tell me, Carol, is the games room staying a games room?
Most definitely.
Yeah?
It's a third lounge, actually.
You didn't have enough in the first place.
As night falls over the lakes, our buyers have a chance to reflect on the properties they've seen so far and speculate on what surprises the Mystery House has in store. Kevin and Carol want to take a stride into a new life and buy their first home together in the lakes in Cumbria. They've had contrasting reactions to the properties we've shown them so far.
Well, that's a 12-seater table.
We got that many friends.
Yes.
So let's hope the Mystery House doesn't have them running for the hills.
Wow.
And I'm going to see how an old Cumbrian stately home is entering the 21st century.
You really get a sense of the huge wealth this family must have had. Yesterday seemed to be a battle between house and location, and I really don't know what side of the fence Kevin and Carol will fall. So today, we're off to see the Mystery House. As ever, it's here to challenge our house buyers' expectations, and it, as normal, comes with a compromise. Although on the upside, this gives them elements of what escaping to the country is all about. And for Kevin, he's also got a trick up his sleeve. So today's a new day.
Yep.
Obviously, we're on the way to the Mystery House.
Okay.
This is where I normally ask you what you think it might be.
Okay.
And hope you get it completely wrong.
Very good. Excellent.
What do you think it could be?
And we've been thinking that it's going to be an apartment.
Could be.
Really? You think it could be an apartment?
No garden.
No garden of our own.
Of our own.
Yeah.
For the Mystery House, you never know. I might have found you something to do.
All right.
Oh.
Okay.
Or not.
A really big games room, you mean?
Well, Kevin might have plenty of time for games once he's put the finishing touches to our Mystery House, which lies in the village of Great Musgrave in Upper Eden, close to the small market town of Brough. In the 19th century, Brough was renowned as a coaching stop between England and Scotland. A number of inns catered for passing trade, and buildings from this period can still be seen. The remains of Bruff Castle date back to the 12th century and sit on an old Roman fort. And our mystery property certainly offers more than meets the eye.
This is the Mystery House. A bit outside your target area, but you mentioned a couple of things to me yesterday morning that none of the houses have yet provided you with.
Right.
One was views. You said you right at the top.
Yes.
Without saying too much, you mentioned you'd like a house to be quite eco-friendly.
Yep, absolutely.
This house gives you both of those.
Oh, wow.
OK?
Yes.
Okay, excellent.
It looks smashing.
I think that's fantastic, actually. You might even get my first proper wow today.
Well, I'll keep my fingers crossed for that. Let's see inside.
What a fantastic first reaction to our mystery house, which I hope we can build on inside. Although they'll need to use their imagination, as this property is newly converted and currently unfurnished.
OK, here we come. Downstairs, Lou, in there. I want you to bring into this first reception room. Because straight away, it gives you the views, Carol.
Oh, it does, yes. That's magical.
It's a little on the small side, isn't it? It's,
Yes, but I'd be quite happy as a living room here.
Yeah.
In my view, you get fantastic views, but I think this is one of the least impressive rooms of the house.
Excellent.
So stick with me, Kevin.
Good news.
Follow me.
Right.
Now, here I was thinking it could be a dining room.
Okay.
There's planning consent for a conservatory facing west.
Oh, right, wow.
But wait till you see this room here.
Oh, gosh.
Look at this.
Right.
Gosh.
But this is where I think another reason why it's a great mystery house is that you get your chance to put your own stamp on it without having to do a lot of the work. This is just a choice of fit out. The kitchen fitters come here and fit it for you.
Yep,
Okay,
yep.
yes.
But you've really got a blank canvas, haven't you?
And with dining, that end really,
with the
similar to the first
views
one
over
yesterday.
Our mystery house also has a great eco feature in place, harnessing heat from the earth.
Well, Kevin, prepare yourself.
Okay.
We're about to talk about a boiler room.
Right.
OK? Now, this is a geothermal ground source heating system, OK?
Okay.
And the top systems can save you anything up to 75% off your fuel bills.
Right, okay.
OK?
Yep.
So,
That's fantastic.
this house, because it's fairly new as well,
Yep.
with all the double glazing and the extra insulation,
Yep.
is pretty eco-friendly, and therefore, or whilst it's big, it's probably cheaper to run than most three-bed houses.
Yeah, fantastic.
The ground floor also has a WC, a shower room, and a room which could be used as a bedroom or a study. While the first floor is a blank canvas, just waiting for Kevin and Carol to put their very own mark on it.
Now up here, you have all the bedrooms you'll need. You've got 5 bedrooms in total.
Right.
A great family bathroom with a separate shower there.
Yeah.
Bedroom number 4 has a walk-in wardrobe.
Right.
But the master bedroom has a walk-in wardrobe the size of a single bedroom.
Okay, that will be okay for
The size of
yourself.
this.
Yeah, that's great. You even get your big bed in there?
Yeah, that's incredible. It's fantastic.
What do you think?
Wow.
It is though, isn't it?
It is.
It is.
Yeah, definitely.
Everywhere you look, you've got these beautiful... You've got fells or hills or rolling countryside.
Yeah.
This is a real escape to the country, isn't it?
It certainly is.
certainly
Definitely.
is, wow.
Definitely. Yeah.
Kevin, it's glorious.
I'm almost
isn't it?
speechless for once.
This room has a bathroom attached, and there are also a further 3 light and airy bedrooms on the first floor. So this house really does offer everything our buyers put on their wish list. And the views, well, they're simply spectacular.
Look at this for an aspect here.
Wow.
Wow, that's fantastic.
Brilliant, isn't
That
it?
is great.
Wow. And all the sheep out there as well.
Do you like sheep?
Yeah, I've been in the Lake District.
Well, I've got a plan for you guys.
Yeah.
And you might be getting to know sheep a little bit better.
Okay.
How much acreage is it then?
Well, you know, you asked for a small garden.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Being the mystery house, it obviously gives you 3 acres.
Okay, right. Yeah.
Worried?
No, you're pretty good on the lawnmower, though, aren't you? You'll be all right.
Can we borrow a few sheep? What do you think?
It's not a joke, actually. That's exactly what I'm suggesting.
Okay.
Great.
They've already got sheep grazing the land.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, if you didn't want this much garden, simply just pull this post and wire fence in
Yep.
to as close as you're comfortable
Yeah.
and give the farmer the grazing land.
Okay. Yeah.
You might get a couple of £100 a year for it,
Yeah.
but then you've got this massive open aspect.
Yes.
And just the odd sheep on there. And a smaller garden.
Yeah. Yeah.
So now the tough bit is trying to value it.
OK. Right.
575,000.
OK.
A little bit lower, 565.
OK. Well, it is a true mystery house because it's on the market for £495,000.
Wow. Gosh. Amazing.
Just keeps giving you surprises, doesn't it?
It certainly does. Wow. Yeah.
Look, you've got a lot to discuss, I know. Have a look at all the bedrooms.
Okay.
Maybe go back in the kitchen and start thinking how you would have it.
Yeah.
OK?
Yeah.
And then, you know, we've got bigger decisions to make later on.
Indeed. Great stuff. Thanks, Johnny.
Give you a bit of time.
Thanks, Johnny.
Thanks a lot.
Significantly under budget at £495,000, this house offers our buyers everything they've asked for and would leave plenty of money for changes. It's got 5 great-sized bedrooms, lots of potential for them to put their own stamp on it, fantastic views and an eco-friendly boiler. The only downside is that they're not quite as close to their preferred location.
Again, lots to think about. I guess the compromise is that we are further away from the national park, further away from the Lake District. But I guess that may be something that we could live with, given the house and the views that we've got here.
I'm smitten with it. I hope that Kevin is. It's eco-friendly and it's a fabulous mystery house.
So, have we been designing kitchens?
Absolutely. Planning the baking and the cakes.
Sounds promising. Let's find somewhere to have a bit of a chat.
Great stuff.
Fantastic.
Staying with the property theme, I'm going to have a look at one with a great historical pedigree. I've come to Lowther Castle and Gardens just outside Penrith to learn more about a £9 million heritage project aimed at breathing new life into this quiet corner of eastern Cumbria. The Lowther Country Park covers 3,500 acres and is the largest in England. Within the park sits the ruin of Lowther Castle and a series of lost gardens which have lain derelict for half a century. The immediate priority is to make the surviving structure safe, and Andrew Mercer is the commercial director in charge of that task.
Now, Andrew, this, as splendid and magnificent as the castle looks, it does look like it's seen better days.
It certainly has. I mean, the poor old castle has had a pretty torrid time over the last 60 or 70 years, and the great deal of weather we have here has really wreaked its worst on the structure. But that's coming to an end now, and this long programme of restoration is just about to start.
I understand one of the unique parts of this whole process of renovating this northern relic, if you like, is the fact that you're trying to keep it local. You're going to try and use local tradespeople and local staff to work here in perpetuity.
Exactly that. I mean, it is the history and the heritage and the wonderful facade and the wonderful gardens that we're creating actually will draw people in. But the whole object is to create jobs right the way through the Northern Lake District area.
Lowther Country Park has been the home of the Lowther family for over 1,200 years. The current castle was designed by the architect Robert Smirk and was built between 1806 and 1814.
Well, Andrew, you said it was built, what, a couple of hundred years ago. You really get a sense of the huge wealth this family must have had. What's your aim? Do you want to get it back to how it once was?
No, I think what we're looking to do is to consolidate the structure, to restore the walls, make them safe, make sure that the ravages of wind and time are actually repaired, and make sure that the building is secure so we can walk people through it.
But it's not just the castle that's having a facelift. The biggest part of this project is, in fact, the grounds. There are 130 acres of gardens at Lowther, and with 400 years of grand garden history, this is one of the largest restoration projects ever undertaken.
What we've decided to do is to refer back and try and recreate the late 17th century structure of the gardens, but put a modern overlay on top of it. And as you can see, there's been a great deal of felling to create what's going to be some wonderful vistas from this, the highest point of the gardens, right the way off to the far fowls. There are some wonderful features embedded in the gardens. They really have made the best of what is a very special site.
So, from one stately home in ruin back to a potential happy home for our buyers. So after looking around all of the properties, I think Kevin and Carol have 3 distinctly different possibilities. Of course, none of the properties gave them absolutely everything they asked for, but we did get some fantastic reactions in all of them. Let's find out what they think. So over these past couple of days, we've covered quite a few miles. Are you happy with the selection of properties that you've seen?
Most definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's been certainly it's been a good mix, and I think it's really helped us to kind of shape our thoughts
Really?
as to where we want to go next. Really.
OK, cast your mind back to yesterday morning. I remember you stood outside the first property, and immediately, Kevin, you had a few issues over maybe the size of that house.
From the outside, certainly, yes. It didn't look to be very big at all, did it, from outside?
It didn't, but it was a very pleasant barn conversion.
Yeah.
Most definitely in a very rural setting.
There was, yeah. And actually, when you went inside, it was a good-sized property.
Yeah.
Also had a small garden, which is something you were after.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. And that was actually a perfect-sized garden, wasn't it,
was
really, for
easy
us?
to manage.
Yeah.
Most
Yeah.
definitely.
In the afternoon,
Yeah.
we got right on the
Yeah.
edge
Yeah.
of the Lake District.
Yeah, that's absolutely.
We did,
Location-wise, how was that for you?
Although obviously closer to the lakes, it was very isolated, and I think that put us off a little bit, didn't it? Really,
I got quite a nice feel when I went into the house. The kitchen and the snug room was very nice, and the 2 lounges.
But it's
But the
interesting.
more that I was in there, the more I didn't feel as though it was home.
Well, there, for a moment, I was getting really worried because you were worried it was going to be too big for you.
Nice to have a lounge each, but we don't really need a lounge each, do we? Really?
Well, I was always planning for you to fall out. Don't know why. OK, well, this morning, it was time to go and see the Mystery House. And you had plenty of time to settle into the idea. It was a bit of a commute, wasn't it?
It was a little bit, yeah.
But when
in
we
terms of
got
location.
there,
yeah.
you were met with an amazing setting, weren't you?
It was spectacular. The views from the front of the house and the back and the sides. It was just absolutely a dream.
You both seemed to warm to the house straight away.
Yeah, absolutely, definitely. It felt homely again from the outset, didn't it? Really?
It did do, yeah. It was lovely and light in there, very warm.
But very spacious.
You can imagine yourself living there.
So, overall, have you discussed what your favourite property might be?
It would be definitely number 3, the Mystery House.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's right,
yeah.
Kev, yes.
No contest.
Yeah.
No contest?
No contest.
None at all.
No.
So what's your next step?
I think the next step is hopefully to talk to the owner and
Yes.
see where we can go with it, really.
Well, best of luck, and please let us know how you get on, won't you?
OK,
We
thank you
will.
very much, and thanks
Thank
for all your
you.
help this week.
Pleasure. Well, that was quite some gamble, wasn't it? But I must admit, Kevin and Carol were rather quiet on that 40-minute drive over to the mystery property. But by the sounds of it, that gamble genuinely paid off. And that was in no small part to those fantastic views. So fingers crossed, their second viewing goes according to plan, and then hopefully Carol and Kevin could have found their very first house together, close to the Lake District, but also the Yorkshire Dales. See you next time. Kevin and Carol really loved the eco-features of our mystery property, but ultimately they felt the location was a little too remote. If you'd like to escape to the country in Scotland, Wales, Northern Ireland or England and would like our help, please apply online at bbc.co.uk/be on a show.